What's a trap that almost everyone will fall into at some point in their lives? Staying up way too late. Thinking you'll be just fine for the morning. Liking someone who doesn't like you back. And thinking the situation will change when it won't. EDT. To say thank you to for the gold. I don't know what to do with it. But I'm very thankful. Hitting spacebar to pause a YouTube video only to realize you've scrolled halfway down the page. Friendly reminder that K will pause the video and not jump down the page. J and L skip backwards and forwards 10 seconds respectively. People who used older professional editing programs will know these as jogging keys. Edit. By older programs I mean ones that still called them jogging because Premiere and FCPX don't anymore and I don't use Avid. I know that all NLEs still use them. One of the traps of adolescence is the sort of paranoid resentment that somehow you are never going to match up and that everybody else's life is going to be better and finer and fuller. That everyone else attended some secret lesson in which how to live was taught and you had a dental appointment that day. Or you were somehow not invited. Double quote. Stephen Fry. Prolonged indecisiveness that eventually leads to missed opportunities. A man who procrastinates in his choosing will inevitably have his choice made for him by circumstance. Hunter S. Thompson. Thinking that there will always be more time. Then one day you find 10 years have got behind you. Letting something you need to do get so overwhelming that it becomes almost impossible to actually do it. Mistaking lust for love. Clicking a link on a page only for the entire page to jump so you click on an ad. The scourge of mobile users. Going on Reddit right before bed. Source. Currently trapped. Don't worry. You don't have to get me anything for holiday. Really. You don't have to. I'm dead serious. Please don't. So why didn't you get me anything? A YouTube ad longer than 15 seconds that's unskippable. Watching a documentary on YouTube that you've been dying to see. Only to get to part 6 of 10 and find the last 3 parts weren't uploaded and the user has a link to finish watching it at your video. Where Promisotheris Neverus Share TV. Rue. Thinking you're good at video games. There is almost always someone 10 times better than you. Life. I mean, don't get me wrong. It often results in happiness. But you get trapped nonetheless. At 3 AM. I'm feeling so clear-headed and productive. Let me just figure out everything about life and my ambitions and chalk up a brilliant plan the likes of which this world has never seen. Then I'll get myself a good 8 hours of sleep and become awesome using my plan of awesomeness. Double quote. Going back to someone who was awful to you because you really have so much hope that they can be a better person. Kids. Biggest trap ever. Takes you 18 years to escape that trap. Searching YouTube for a video and clicking on the first result only to have it be some sponsored shit that is in no way at all related to your original search. Backspace to edit your massive wall of text. Only to see your browser switching to the previous page and erasing everything you've written for the past f***ing hour. Advertising. We think we can ignore it. But there's a reason they spend so much money on it. We get manipulated every day. Thinking someone's essentially a good person deep down because they don't act like a jerk 100% of the time. If someone is only occasionally nice, they're not a diamond in the rough. They're an asshole. Edit. Some people really are diamonds in the rough gruff manner but genuinely good people. My point is just that some people get way too much credit because people are surprised that they're not being a DCK for once. What's that on your shirt? Boop. I'll stay for just one drink. Lifestyle inflation. Whenever your wage increases, your spending expands to fill it. Getting hyped up on something only to find out that something was the most disappointing thing ever. Thinking you've escaped yourself. Like, you move or get a new job or a new relationship and you think, The new me. Then pretty soon all your neuroses and old habits catch up. I fell into the lie that told me that going to college would get me a decent job. I it's off to work I go. Staying in a relationship that has long ago run its course. Because why not? It's easy. You know the person. And there's nothing obviously wrong. But just below the surface you know it isn't what you wanted. Average power bill costs. Here's how it works. You pay your power bill for a year and after that the power company charges you an average cost per month. This spreads it out, which seems like it's a great deal. But if you live in Arizona like I do, you don't realize you're spending $500 a month in power unless you really pay attention. Watch your bills regardless of what they are. Don't overpay. Being with that wrong person. Honestly, you never know how cool some people can be until you date more and often. Too many times a person meets one individual and sticks with them. A mistake everyone makes is trying to hold on to a lover that is no longer in love with you. It never works. Just move on. Avoid bitterness and start the healing process. Nothing lasts forever. Comparing your own situation to someone else's on social media. It's so easy to make comparisons without any of the appropriate context. And that doesn't do anybody any favors. Thinking their problems are unique to them and so making it worse with a why me mentality. Somebody has probably experienced what you're going through and gotten out of it fine. Stick your DCK in crazy. Or for the girls, crazy DCK sticking in you. We always think they are hot so can't be as nuts as everyone says. But they are, and they will make your life hell until they find their next victim. Thinking that your insurance covers you only to find that you didn't buy the coverage. You have collision. But no rental coverage, for example. Clicking on a video on YouTube that says something like women punches baby in the mouth shocking video. And you're like, sure. Whatever, I have 3 minutes. So you click on it only to be interrupted by some white chick in her 30s doing a report on the video and only showing screenshots of the video like she is training to be on cable news or some shit. Falling in love with the younger and more attractive sister of your wife. She has everything you like about your wife. But is cooler and more playful. Seeing the best in someone that you've been told probably isn't genuine. Some of us never learn and end up screwed out of thousands of dollars. I just have to stop thinking anyone is ever actually my friend. Reaching 30 and thinking that you should be in a relationship, married, engaged, having kids just because the majority of people your age are doing it. I can turn off the alarm instead of pressing snooze. Then just lay here with my eyes closed for just another moment before getting out of bed. Thinking you can fix someone else. Be the answer to their big questions. Or be the solution to their problems. This was from another similar post. But I think it is called sunk money fallacy. It's basically that you don't let go of something after you put so much time, effort, and money into something or someone. Even if it's bad for you. Getting stuck in a bad relationship where you can't leave because you're worried about the other person's feeling and well-being instead of focusing what is best for you. Liking someone. Get rejected. Stop talking. Find out they missed talking to you and had a tough time without you. Go back to talking to them even though they told you time and again that they won't date you. Not ending a relationship when it's time. Making it much more painful when it inevitably fails. I loved a girl. Really truly loved her. But we weren't right for each other. And wanted very different things. We held on for an extra year. A few years later I still think about how painful that whole situation was. People not keeping good backups of their computers. Almost nobody I know has learned that lesson anyway, but the hard way. Theft. Fire. Having a disk fail. Getting a virus, malware. etc. And losing unreplicable files. It's cheap and it's easy these days to use a cloud backup service for your unreplicable stuff. By which I mean photos of your friends' holidays, wedding, kids' graduation, etc. Not your porn collection, although I'm sure there's some crossover between the two. You can always re-download the porn. Might as well get some more while you're at it. Porn. Seriously. Backups. Automated backups that you don't have to remember to run. Not kept in the same building as your computer. Do it now. Borrowing money to buy a car. The car you can afford is the one you can buy with cash today. There should be a lot more 1987 Ford Fiestas on the road right now. But instead there's lots of shiny new things and everyone's complaining about living paycheck to paycheck like a bunch of f-king idiots. Knowing that the deposed prince of Nigeria isn't really a prince but you just feel so bad so you give him all of your money knowing that you'll get it back tenfold when he makes it to America. Coming up with a foolproof plan that only had one flaw. The rebels on the surface of the moon must take down the shield right before your fleet arrives. Because the shield is undetectable. If you are not careful, you may be going in solo on this one. Trying to attack the Death Star but then realizing the shields are still up and half the Imperial battle fleet is behind you.